turn this great country upside down, and Congress must gain the ability to right all the wrongs of this presidency. We sit at a right time in history to flip this district so Darren Soto cannot enact any more socialist policies. The only way to take advantage of what's going on in D.C. is to elect new servant leaders that are strong, structured, and have a working knowledge of just what the issues are and what needs to be done to stop the madness in Washington. Okay. In closing, my time's up. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I hope that you will vote for me.
Thank you, Alicia. Her people's right here, and afterwards you'll have an opportunity to speak to her one-on-one. Next is going to be Jose Castillo.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. My name is Jose Castillo. Unlike my opponents, I'm not here to share talking points. I actually brought questions for you. Do you know when was the last time a Republican won Florida's District 9? It's in 2010. We've lost ever since. We lost with Carol Platt, with Todd Long, with Wayne Lipinski, with Bill Olson. So you gotta wonder, why do we lose? Well, it's pretty obvious. The statistics will tell you. There's 234,000 Democrats in our district. There's 165,000 Republicans. That's a huge gap. So how do we make up that gap? How do we win? We need a candidate with broad-based appeal, a candidate that can appeal to the independents, and a candidate that can flip some of those Democrats. Carol Platt actually did pretty good. It was a low turnout election, and I can guarantee you that she won some of those women independent voters. And that's why she did the best of all the candidates in the past. But how do we win going forward? And I'm going to give you an example of the last election. Because in the last election, there was 13,000 people that voted for President Trump. They voted Republican for president, and then they voted Democrat for Congress. How's that so? They feel that the policies of the Republican Party are better for their families, for themselves and their wallets, but they couldn't find it in themselves to vote for the Republican candidate. Why is that? I'll tell you why that happened. Our district, if you look at the demographics in our district, has a huge population of Hispanic voters. If you look at the independent voters, 45% of all independent voters are Hispanic. In the Democratic Party, 42% of all the voters are Hispanic. So what did the Democrats do? Very strategically, they put a Hispanic candidate to run in our race for Congress, Darren Soto. And he beats our candidates easily. He's won 3 elections. He's going for a 4th term. So I'm here to tell you, put me on the ballot. And not just because I'm Hispanic. I'm the most constitutional conservative candidate in this race. I was born here in the States, but I was raised in Honduras, Central America, where you don't have a constitution that protects your God-given rights. So put me on the ballot. I'm going to take away Darren Soto's base voters. Those Hispanic voters, the ones who are teetering and vote for him, they will not do so. There's almost 200,000 voters, independents and Democrats, Hispanics, that are voting for him right now. So put me on the ballot. But that's not all. You know, this is the theme park capital of the world. I work for the Walt Disney Company. During this pandemic, the people that struggle the most are the hospitality workers. A lot of them lost their jobs, like me. Some of us got our jobs back. And now, to keep your job, what are they doing? They're telling you, you have to take a vaccine by force or you're going to lose your job. When I'm going to talk to all the hospitality workers, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to go to Congress to fight for you. I'm going to fight for us, and I'm going to make sure that we save America. So please put me on the ballot. Not only will I win my race, I will help off the ballot, help Ron DeSantis win his election, and down the ballot. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jose. And Jose's table's right over here in the front. Our next speaker is Kenneth Harkness.
How are y'all doing? Wonderful. Well, I'm going to keep this nice and short because, honestly, you guys probably don't care much what us candidates have to say. I just have some really quick, simple questions. I want to see a raise of hands, okay? Who here could use $1.75 a gallon gas right now? Who could use that? Every single one of your hands better be up in the air. Who here could use lower taxes right now? Who here could use lower inflation right now? Because at 5.5%, that's a tax on every single one of you. It robs your ability to have a better life, to live in a beautiful beautiful place like this, and it hurts people. And I didn't hear any single one of them talk about that so far, about how they're going to go over to D.C. and how they're going to knock that down, and how they know how to knock it down. I'm going to D.C. and I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm not apologetic. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman, and I went to law school. It means I know how to read the laws they're going to put out. I know how to write the laws. And most importantly, I know how to work together with people. I know how to put the coalitions together. I know how to get people to work on my side. And most importantly, it's something that never gets talked about. I have firsthand gotten to experience the dirty tricks that people on both our side of the party and the Democrats use when you first get to D.C. to make you vote their way, so that we forget about you. That won't happen with me because I understand the tricks that they use. So that's why I'm going to D.C. I'm going to D.C. to help every single one of you. I don't have to bow down to special interests. I don't have to bow down to the people of like Nancy Pelosi in D.C. I'm here to come help you, and that's why I'm running. Once again, my name is Kenneth Harkins. I was born and raised right here in Auburndale, Florida. Went to school here, and I hope to be your elected representative here. Thank you all so very much.
Next up is Scotty Miller. Thanks, Scotty.
I was looking around saying, like I said, my name is Scotty. You want it Scotty with a Y, M-O-O-R-E, that sign over there, if you want to take a look at it. And it is my pleasure to be with you guys today, so thank you so much for the opportunity. What I want to do is briefly just share who I am, what I believe, and why I'm running. So first of all, who am I? I am a son of the utmost high God. Then Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, that's first and foremost. I am a husband to my amazing wife, Esther, Brazilian. Her name is Ashtay, but it's written out Esther. She's Brazilian. And I am a father to two amazing daughters. Isabella is 14, Sophia is 11. And they're the reason why I'm running. I worked with a Christian missions organization called CRU, Campus Crusade for Christ, for the past 20 years, lived in Brazil, was doing leadership development and coaching. And I got to a point where I realized that we cannot keep going down this direction. And I looked at my girls and I wondered, what kind of America are they going to inherit in the future of my grandkids? And so, here's a few things that I believe. I believe that America was God's ideas first. That there's a beacon of hope and a purpose that we have in our nation. That we have lost our way. I believe that we're experiencing a leadership crisis like we've never experienced before. And in fact, that leadership crisis is destroying our country right now at this very instant. I believe leadership matters. Nations rise and fall with leadership. And if you don't believe me, you look at Venezuela, or even think about what would have happened if Governor DeSantis had lost the election. Where would we be right now? Leadership matters. And what we're experiencing right now is leadership, not just in Washington, but all across our nation. We need conservatives to rise up. I believe we're the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yet our freedoms are no doubt under attack. Okay? And what's even more scary is they're under attack from within. Okay, from within our own nation. Okay? And we are the home of the brave. And that home of the brave is not just for our military men and women, yet we honor them and we thank them. And not just for the first responders, yet we need them, but it's for everyday American citizens that need to rise up. Conservatives need to rise up, find their business, and speak up and fight. Because we are in danger of losing our country. There is a moment coming in 2022, everybody. Okay? And do not miss this moment. We need to get the word out. We need to share with people. We need to let them know. We need to have the conversations. It's time to rise up. Here are a couple stories that I want to share with you real quick before I leave. I believe that legacy and family history matters. My grandpa on my dad's side was born in 1903. And when World War I came around, he was too young to serve. He lived through the Great Depression, and then World War II came, and he was too old to serve. He raised the family through the Industrial Revolution, and he died in 1995, almost a full century. He would be 118 if he were alive today. And I wonder what he would say. my other grandpa served in World War II, and he enlisted. He said he is going to serve for the duration of the war plus 6 months. That's the type of American leadership we have. That's what we need, and that's what I'm running on. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you guys.
This is the redistricting year, follows the census. And so there's a possibility that these folks will be able to maybe send 2 of these folks to Washington. Because they're very likely that we are going to get the new House district will be in our part of Polk County. So very, very good possibility that we'll be able to send 2 of these fine people to Washington. So, So, I'd like to next bring up Bill Olson, who was our candidate in 2020 for the U.S. House District 9. And he did win convincingly here in Polk County, but as Jose was saying when we got to Osceola, the Democrats said, oh, this is much. So, we have to remember to overvote to help make up that
How many votes can we have?
Jukeball. Jukeball.
No, it isn't. So, listen, I just wanted to, I'm not going to take a whole 3 minutes. You may remember that my policy is that I'm not a politician. I'm just a guy that wants to go up to D.C. and let them know what the people here in Polk County and Osceola County and Orange County, or whatever counties we're going to be, that you folks are why we are here. This is not about me. This is not about me and trying to become a leader or a powerful leader. It is not. It is about, well, let's talk about it. What's going on in Washington, D.C. right now? You've got the folks fighting over whether or not we're going to spend $3.5 trillion or only $1.5 trillion. Folks, if I was up there right now, and I think you guys would agree with me, that I couldn't vote for either one of those things. Because even $1.5 trillion, we don't have that money. And listen to Joe Biden. What does he say? Oh, it costs zero. No, it doesn't cost zero. It costs your tax money. Okay? The money that you pay and I pay every year in taxes is for the next decades is going to be spent on these community ideas that they have in this Green New Deal, all this infrastructure. I would vote for it because you. Now, you tell me, would you vote for that? Would you want me to vote for that? No. No, that's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. So, when I go up to D.C., and let's talk a little bit about what happened last election. You guys know as well as I do that this is a heavily Democratic district. It is nearly impossible, as Jose said, from 2010 on, it has always been a Democratic here because quite frankly, there's about 50,000 more Democrats or independents together that are a part of this district. So it makes it nearly impossible to win that. Now, things are going to change. The good news is that we're going to do that redistricting again, and it does appear that things are going to be looking, we don't know for sure yet. We won't know until, my understanding is until January the 11th or so, and we'll know what the districts look like. But this district should be red, a little more red, and what happens then? What do you think? You think stand with right here? You think that's what's going to happen? No, it's going to be like a fire drill. Okay? If this district becomes a red district, you're going to see people coming in as candidates from all around. Okay? You got to remember the people that were here during the hard times. Thank you.
And now, my friend is Sergio Ortiz.
Thank you, everybody. How are we doing today?
Good.
It's always refreshing to come here and see the faces that I've seen so far. Always a pleasure to see this young man right here.
Yeah.
even though he's almost 100, but he's like a kid to me. And I thank you all for being here. Let's be the last who will speak tonight as far as people who are running for Congress. And I'm going to tell you, as Senator Ben said, my motto is faith, family, and freedom. And you know what? We are at war.
Yeah.
Want it or not, we are at war right now with an evil spirit that is called socialism. We are at war with a spirit that wants to destroy the very nature of this country. You know how you restore them? We restore them by having faith in God and making sure that we vote in every election. Because this nation was built by an American spirit called American exceptionalism. That spirit guided us through our revolution. It put the country back together after a civil war, and is guiding us now to this moment, which is the biggest threat we are facing right now, which is our freedom. They're trying to take away our freedom. And that's something that too many of your family members fought, and some of them died and gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to enjoy. And that is something we cannot ever forget. Thank you, Stephen, for making my point. Scott, Olson, you. Because we share a common bond. We believe in the right of this nation. We believe in freedom. And we believe that everything that we have here is for a purpose and a reason. But there's only going to be one. That's a movie that I saw years ago. There can only be one. And as Stephen said, in our district, we have the majority. Not boasting, it's a fact. We're not Democrats. We don't go by touchy feely. Hard fact. And in our district, yes, we have a majority of Hispanics, mostly of Puerto Rican descent. That's the key vote in our county, in district land. And it's something that we have to use for our own good. Because if we don't take advantage, the Democrats are using every account that they have, every lying scheme that they have against us. It is time for us to rise up and do the same thing to them, because we are the best party in this nation. And as I close, I'm going to tell you something. I will be the candidate who's going to win for the 9th congressional district. And we will have victory with your support and your prayer and your blessing. And we will take back the House. And with this, I'm going to take the gavel away from Nancy Pelosi. And we're going to take the House of Congress, and we're going to make this country great again. Thank you all very much.
We're going to switch. We're going to let you all go back to your tables around the edge here. We're going to bring up the Florida House and Polk County and Winter Haven candidates. The candidates agreed to stay a little bit late to engage with them one-on-one. And once the new district lines are drawn, I can't commit to our candidates in the office. This summer, we will have another candidate forum just for the House seats, so that you can get to know them a little bit better before you go to vote in the primaries in August. So now we have Florida House, Polk County, and Winter Haven City Council. First to speak will be Connie Griffith, who is here for our U.S. House Representative Melanie Bell. She is running for re-election next year. So, Tom.
First of all, I'm proud to work with her, and most of all, proud to be her friend. On her record, I can stand and you can stand. See what she's done for you and will do for you. I can truthfully say that she wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She was born with a servant's heart. And in Matthew chapter 20 and verse 26, it says, "Whoever's great among you should be your servant first." She has proven that. And also, before I leave today, she has already put 6 bills in progress in Tallahassee. She's been up there in September, October, November. She goes back in December. The session doesn't start until January, it ends hopefully for March 11th. It's 60 working days, not calendar days. The biggest thing, the biggest challenge they've got to do all of this, the redistricting, to find out where the district lines are going to be and how many new candidates we are. But she does have 7 bills actually on. She's very high on education, national security, and talking about national security, she is also proposing to keep the National Guard at home and only deploy in the declared war, declaration of war. I know one National Guard man that has been deployed 7 times. He's in Africa right now. We're misusing our National Guard, and she knows that. And top that off, our National Guard number
Let here, let me be boss. I just do as with them.
we only have 12,000 and some National Guard in Florida. Florida is about 22 million people. We need more emphasis on national security around in our United States, and she's on top of that. Also, she's also in with education and trying to help because of the pandemic. You know, all our students are falling behind, most of them falling behind. So anyway, she's in education, she's in national security, and also she's a hard worker for you. She stands on her own record. You can look at it. I have a table back here with all her information. I'm proud to stand here and lieu of her. She couldn't be here, but she has you at her heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. As I said, Melanie is running for re-election in next November. And she's trying to be in our Florida House rep. She was our Polk County rep. And something that you may not know, but when they built the Aldi's, remember when they built the Aldi's and they put that big concrete thing up and we couldn't get into Walgreens anymore? Everybody said, oh, nothing can be done. Well, guess what? We went to her, we said, we need a turn. 6 weeks, we had a turn. I think we should, if we could, I would call that the Melanie Bell left-hand turn lane. Anyway, you know, we really want to get Melanie reelected. We talked a little bit about redistricting. We're not sure where the district lines are going to fall. So, someone who might be in district, Jennifer Kennedy, has also sent a representative to speak. And I think, Tommy, you got my little piece of paper on my keyboard. So,
Green Lacefield, that's what I was looking for, that's my name. I don't know if you can tell from where you're sitting or not, that the podium's kind of blocking me. I'm not Jennifer Kennedy. That kind of gave it away. She's not here tonight. She wanted to be here, but one of her good friends is being sworn in Tampa as one of President Trump's last judicial appointments, and is being sworn into the federal bench. So she couldn't make it here tonight because she'd already promised him that she would be there for that big event and supporting President Trump's judicial legacy. So I hope you understand that you got me instead. I know there's nothing more fun and exciting listening to someone else talk about someone else and what that someone else is going to do. So I'll keep it short and sweet.